Hello everybody, welcome back. Taking a look at Star Wars Attack of the Clones today. Another Ultimate Collector's Edition. And I guess I'm on a bit of a Star Wars kick right now with Revenge of the Sith in the theater last week, or maybe it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and watching Andor. Hopefully you are too. And there was a person in my last video that made a comment about enjoying all the Star Wars movies, well, the Skywalker saga as it's now called, and I made a offhand comment in the Return of Revenge of the Sith video about having the misfortune of watching Attack of the Clones. So I figured I'd do something different in the sense I'm just going to talk about what I like about Attack of the Clones. So let's take a look at the packaging here. So again, this is similar to Revenge of the Sith, and I think all the Star Wars movies on 4K, at least it's 4K Blu-ray with the digital code. And we'll flip this over. Watch the seeds of Anakin Skywalker's transformation take root. Don't mind if I do. When Jedi apprentice Anakin Skywalker is assigned to protect Senator Padme Amidala, he discovers his love for her and his darker side, and his own darker side. Obi-Wan Kenobi uncovers a secret clone army as the galaxy marches towards full-scale war. Share the adventure in incredible 4K Ultra HD. Perhaps I will. And yeah, so this is 3 discs. Comes with a bunch of extras. All the extras are on its own disc. This has an extra I have genuine interest in sounds in space. So I was going to mention during the things I like about Attack of the Clones is in overall I love the sound design in Star Wars. It typically produces a unique sound per installment, something you may haven't heard before, and of course Star Wars has so many iconic sounds associated with it, and everything from, of course, from like activating the lightsaber and your blaster sound, and if you've watched a lot of Star Wars, I'm sure you're able to hear those very distinctly in your head right now. And I love the sound design in Attack of the Clones. Right from the opening with the chase with the shape-shifting assassin, I don't know the character's name, but streaking through the traffic in the sky there, it has a really distinct howl, like scream, compared to the other crafts you've heard in Star Wars, and I really enjoy that. And easily my favorite is when Obi-Wan is tracking Jango here, and Jango's in Slave One, and I don't think it's called Slave One anymore. I don't know what they're calling his ship, but whatever his ship is called nowadays. He drops these seismic charges, and they have a slight delay from what's transpiring on screen when it comes to their sound. So you see the explosion for the seismic charge before you actually hear it, and it's a really enjoyable sound. You only hear it twice, and it almost has like a twang to it. It's really cool. And there are other sounds in this as well, but this is a very if you have a home theater or something on those lines, it's an exciting movie to listen to. So Definitely love the sound design in this movie. And I didn't mean to get into my likes so quickly. I just saw that. So there's some extras here that the sounds, I'm going to check that out for sure. I didn't even notice that. Puppets to pixels. I wonder what that has to do, because when I saw Phantom Menace in the theater, and that's when you have the, you know, I've seen some shit Yoda puppet, and he's now a CGI in Attack of the Clones, and actually, geez, I think when you go and watch the, at least what Disney recently put out for Phantom Menace on 4K, I think they went back and he's not a puppet anymore, which is really too bad. I really got a kick out of that puppet. Maybe that's why they changed it, because I'm not supposed to get a kick out of it, but I don't know. I thought it was cool. So, yeah, we have, what else do we have here? We open this up. A little loud. Yeah, so we have the 4K disc here, but it does have Dolby Atmos. I really like the Atmos mix in this. It's really dynamic, and you do have to crank it up, several notches than you may have as your baseline, but that's pretty standard, at least for Disney releases. It still has a lot of good low-frequency effects at times. And then we have the bonus disc here, and again, these are stacked discs, which isn't so great, but I have the Blu-rays stacked because, again, they are typically more scratch resistant compared to the 4K discs. Yeah, this is a PG movie, like most Star Wars movies, except for Revenge of the Sith, which is PG-13, and maybe some of the more recent ones. I think like Rogue One is PG-13 too, but I imagine in Canada it's G or something. Yeah, so this isn't a Canadian release. This is from the States. So let me flip this back over here. And so what else do I like about this movie? And we have Padme's midriff, which is quite frequent. I find even like in this scene when it's not exposed, she gets a slash across the back, but a lot of her wardrobe is ready for the sun, I guess. And we have Mace's coveted purple lightsaber here. I'm sure there's a story behind that. I don't know it, but it's very peculiar. His lightsaber's purple. I don't know, are there any yellow lightsabers in this? I just watched this, actually. I went back and rewatched it, and I think it's just blue, green, and purple in this one. I don't know when yellow lightsabers start getting introduced. Maybe that's just with, Return of Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker. That's the only Star Wars movie that's not on my shelf. I feel that movie is about nothing. And even though I've dunked on Attack of the Clones before, this was previously was my least favorite. But that last movie, the Skywalker movie, has, I wouldn't even consider that a least favorite. There's no favorite with that one. It's just something I preferred. It didn't exist, but it does. Anyways, so what was I talking about here? Okay, yeah. Things I like about the movie. They don't really explore it all, but I enjoy thinking about it with Jango Fett here, with his clone army. Like, for one, when the clones are mentioned, like I've seen the Star Wars movies, and like growing up, I'd watch like Battle at Endor and things like that. But I've played some of the video games, but not all of them because there's so many. But I haven't really watched anything outside of that, so I'm not really well versed with clones and Clone Wars and Star Wars. But my first exposure to them, I think, was in this, and the ethics of the clone army is really just not something they want to talk about at all, which is fine. I'm not really looking for that so much in Star Wars, but it's just kind of like, oh, we have this massive clone army, and everyone's like, oh yeah, clones, of course. Who's not aware of clones? And I don't know, is cloning legal? It's not something that is really discussed at all. It's just kind of brought up, and yeah, we got tens of thousands of this guy, and we grew him, and he grows twice as fast. It's amazing. But then what's I think I really get a kick out too is with Boba, it's a clone. So I just try to think of that in the sense of Django being like, hey, you know what? I don't have a son, and what would be better? What than me? You know, let's just have me. I have myself, and I'll raise myself. I'll get to see myself, how I looked as a child. This is exactly how I looked as a kid, because I'm like, I guess he's like completely identical, right? I think they make some comment about that, and it's just really funny to me. It's just, all right, okay, this is my son. He looks just like me. Anyways, so what else we got here? I do like Count Dooku a lot. That's Christopher Lee's performance, and for one, he has a really cool hilt on his lightsaber. I think that's what it's called, and it looks very elegant. You know, it. I don't want to say it looks like he has a cane, but it really matches the character. If you think of, I need to design a lightsaber for a character. Just the look of Christopher Lee, the lightsaber I feel is perfect. And well, there is one scene in the movie when he is very candid with Obi-Wan. He's like, hey, you know, Darth Sidious is running the Senate now, and you should join me. And I'm not sure if that's him saying, like, let's overthrow Darth Sidious and rule a galaxy type thing, or you know, like they kind of discuss it at the very end of the movie, where he's literally just like, you know, don't really pay attention to that. He's all about lies and deceit now. But at that point, he was being, you know, very honest. So not really someone to spend too much time thinking about. And I know when this movie came out, Hayden Christensen, I didn't see him in anything. This was the first movie I'd seen him in, and I do like his performance in this. I mean, when you think about some of the dialogue is out of his control, and when you look at the established actors here, we have Samuel Jackson, Ewan McGregor, and Natalie Portman. These are all brilliant actors, and there's only so much you can do with material. So he was kind of getting, you know, I don't want to say dunked on, but a lot of questions about his performance. But I think he nails what he's given. I really like him in this, and even his posture. Like at the beginning of the movie, he kind of sulks a bit more. He's always kind of hunched over a little bit when he's sitting down. And pretty much after the scene when he rescues his mom, his demeanor changes, and he's a bit more upright, you know, a bit more confident. I guess it's after she consoles him, seemingly not all that concerned that her, you know, boyfriend had just slaughtered women and children. But I don't know if that was like a direction for the character or something that he did, or maybe it's just entirely a coincidence. But I do like his performance quite a bit. And there's some subtle touches here and there, you know, just like Star Wars stuff that I do enjoy, like that marble map that Obi-Wan has when he's in, you know, talking to the younglings, you know, with Yoda. For one, the map itself, and just that, you know, kind of you know, throwaway, you know, I'll use my force to pick up my marble. It's kind of like in the Phantom Menace when Darth Maul uses, you know, a piece of scrap to open up the door, like he points at it and then hits the door opener with it. I like little things like that. And there's something else too, though, like when I do like those millipede type creatures that try to poison Padme. That whole scene really looks great, like the shadows in that scene. And those millipedes in general, like I think they're animated really well. All the creatures are animated really well in this. But then you really get like a show don't tell thing of Anakin, you know, bursting in and doing those quick chops, cuts them up so close to Padme, and not a big deal. And then the next scene, you may not be seeing it because it's just in the background, but they're fixing the windows. They have two little droids that are fixing the window, which is again a little nice touch. So all in all, I mean, I wouldn't recommend this to someone if they're not a fan of Star Wars. It's just, I don't really think it's that good in that sense. But like everything up until the most recent Star Wars movie, if someone wants to say, hey, do you want to watch Attack of the Clones? I'd say, yeah, go ahead, let's put it in. So, okay, thanks for watching.